these here, and it reminds me instantly of walking along the beach in the summer, and you've just got a pair of shorts on, nothing else, carrying your shoes. Yeah. And you walk into the water, it's like 3 or 4 inches deep, maybe you get into about a foot, it's nice and balmy, but there's still a har coming in off the sea, and I can watch this thing.
I love that colour 11 high you've got, which is that very pale grey. And again, you told me about a mist that surrounds it.
That was, you'd see these big balls of har just kind of floating in. It'd have to be particular weather conditions for that, hardly any wind, just a gentle thing. You could walk into the centre of that colour, and there's a kind of slight kind of speckly effect, because it's like a mist as you go in. And now no longer I'm able to see the coast. I'm now no longer able to see the sea. I know I'm in it because I can feel it about 8 inches up.
But there's no horizons.
You can't hear very much, and you've got this light in there, and it's like being in some sort of heavenly place. And it's that ball, the big ball has moved very slowly along the coast, and I'm walking with it until it kind of dissipates, and you start to see things again. And wow.
Well, it's lovely. Again, that slightly greyed white. It's interesting. Your studio is a white backdrop, and it's lovely to see so much of your works either in development or completed. Do you have any preference for the kind of colours? Do you work with curators when you're doing an exhibition to work out what kind of colours you'd like your particular sculptures or images to work with?
Well, quite often it doesn't work out like that. When I was working on those big magazine pieces, and I'd get like 150 tons of paper, of newspapers, of magazines, and you couldn't say I want 40 tons of blue, 3 tons of red. You had to take what was there and actually adapt to that thing. And quite often I'd find it hard to work in galleries with their white walls and their white cube sort of philosophy. I always like to work in sort of great big hoary messes. I'd work in weird places. I worked in a discotheque. I worked in a nun's room. I worked in a brothel. A sculpture brothel. I worked on a moving tube train in parks. And I really loved being in kind of difficult situations. Where the backdrop was not under your control, and it worries me, and I still have a problem with it yet. Going into a cathedral of an art gallery where it's prepared for you, it's stupid. I shouldn't feel like that. I should feel that here's a place prepared to take it. But it bothers me that, So, but the colour attacks these places, It's an odd thing, and people can be snobbish about all that sort of stuff. Oh, it's too bright, it's too colourful, it's too pretty, it's too light, it's too funny, it's too happy. All of these things contemporary art curators, etc., don't like. There's a lack of seriousness here, boy. But I think it's quite the opposite.
Are there colours that you like living with? You talked about your cottage up in Scotland. Are there colours that you've used to decorate with, which you differentiate from your art?
Well, funnily enough, my brother, who's 7 years younger than me, but is like my twin in a lot of ways. We find ourselves looking at our walls in our separate houses. I went, are you copying me? Because I've just painted my wall of that colour, and I'm looking on your. I didn't know you had that on the.
What green is that?
Good question.
What did you call that? Sorry.
What did we call that? Let's have a wee look.
Because I love that green. I think it's particularly powerful.
Greenback. Oh my God, I've related it to money. That's terrible, isn't it?
Is it related to dollars, or is it related to a piece of?
Well, I guess
work?
greenbacks you would think of dollars, but there's something Greek about that for me, which I've got no connection. I've never been to Greece. You would read about it. My favourite author is Louis de Bernier, and Captain Corelli's Mandarin, which is not in Greece, someplace else. But you're aware of things, mythical things, historical things, you name it. Never been there, so I have to imagine some things. But for some reason, I kind of do associate that with that neck of the woods, if you like. Isn't it?
And that green to live with, you must have chosen that because obviously green makes you feel something. You react to the colour. Does it in terms of just?
Well, that greens. You get that green on the beach. I'll find a lot of glass that's that green. It's close to that soot idea again. That grey. What you were saying about the grey thing is very interesting, actually. I find that people painting things grey as an undercoat stop them dead. We're not going. This is the colour. That's the colour we're going to keep. So there must be something in there that you can identify that makes you feel. It's not about feeling safe. Actually, I think it makes you feel sophisticated or something. There's something sophisticated about it.
Yeah.
You know, something stylish about it.
Well, architects are saying that it gives them greys in particular give them a backdrop to use other feature colours, and you know that's why I think it's interesting that I think with your palette you've got some great light and neutral colours which will be used for larger expanses, and some really bright colours I can imagine being used for alcoves or feature walls or accent colours, and I think people are picking that up from interior designers.
You want a kind of blast of colour, I think.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we were painting our house, and you get it all white, and you think, oh, you know, let's jazz it up a bit here, you know. And we'd have a curved wall maybe, and that curved wall was painted that kind of in that green green, you know. And it's not fruity, it's not lush like that. It's olivey. It's more, you know, it's more. It's a more subtle thing. I'm not entirely sure how to describe it, because when you put it in your house, and I'm terrible for that. I mean, I don't even put any art on the walls. No. You live with it all day. I'm quite happy not to see anything on the walls, quite frankly.
So you like the colour to be the statement rather than
a bit of maybe a bit of peace, you know.
Well, greens are classically natural and tranquil colour as well, which I think is interesting. We touched on your Polish roots, and you've got a colour called Silesia, which I think is great, and that's the particular region that the family.
Yeah, right on the Czech border, town called Szczecin. Very earthy, very kind of. I mean, and you grow up next to the coast. I had sort of 3 or 4 existences on the coast, heart of the country, right in the. I mean, if you couldn't get any further away from the coast, slap bang in the middle of Europe, you know. Yeah. And you're trapped in, and you're in small holdings with cows. We had a cow in the house, I guess. And it was great. And the colours there are earthy qualities, and it's a coal mining area, you know. And actually, the funny thing is, it reminds me a bit of my dad and sort of being a wee boy, and sitting behind him in a chair, and his back was pitted with bits of coal, because I mean, stuff would fall off the ceiling of the where they were working all the time. And he'd get you to scratch these things out of his back, and his back had quite a lot of these colours.
Yeah, because that Silesian colour is a sort of mineral grey blue.
Yeah, there's something kind of earthy, minerally about the thing. That it's smoky.
Because it's a very mineral-rich area, isn't it? There's lots of mining and lots of.
There's a whole kind of stretch of land for hundreds of miles there. So that, I mean, it was therefore it was also Hungarian, it was Polish, it was Russian, it was German. They'd just been tramping through there, sort of north, south, east, and west, and sort of grabbing whatever they could. You know, so next to Bohemia. Yeah.
Now you don't have a cow in the collection, but you do have one that I have to say made us laugh a lot. And certainly when we were doing Club Name, I've never come across a dirty Palomino before.
Oh yeah.
Your pink grey is dirty Palomino, and I think you said it was derived from a piece of work you'd done. Well, the origin of that I'm still finding very hard to explain.
God, yeah, no, I mean, then that you mentioned that, it's going completely out of my head. Which one is dirty Palomino?
I think it's the pink grey, this one.
Dirty Palomino. There's something quite saucy about that name. It must have some sort of reference like that, actually.
Well, I think, you know, we were talking about sort of sexy pinks and sort of passion and you know, that was one of the most fun naming sessions that I've ever worked on, in terms of you telling us background stories about why pink meant so much to you.
Well, a lot of flesh, you're sort of trampling around that area. We'll have to go into a kind of pornographic explanation.
I don't think we'll go to that on
no,
this video.